my wonderful viewers. You guys are welcome back to my channel. And I'm so happy to have you guys here. And please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please try and do so. And don't forget to turn on your notification so you'll be able to get every video that drops from my channel. Nutrient and calorie dense food. Which of them is better? Now, before we go into that, I would like you to know what we mean by nutrient-dense food. Nutrient-dense food, just as the name implies, are those food that contain higher amounts of nutrients with relatively lower amounts of calorie. Then your calorie-dense food, just like the name implies too, is also foods that are rich in calories, those foods that contain higher amounts of calories and lesser amounts of nutrients. You can actually be able to know if a food is calorie dense or nutrient dense through the food label, especially that of your packaged foods. But how do you know if your food is nutrient dense when it is already cooked? For example, your fresh meal, those cooked meal that you usually eat at home, how do you measure up if it is nutrient dense or calorie dense? Now, I have some few secrets I'm going to be giving you right now that you will be able to determine if this meal is nutrient dense or if it's calorie dense meal. Now, the first thing you should look into when you are checking if these foods are nutrient dense or calorie dense, the first thing you should look into is color. That is the first thing you should look into when you want to check if this meal is nutrient dense or calorie dense. Now, what do I mean by color? Any nutrient dense food should have not less than 5 colors. 5 different colors. I don't just mean like five colors that are, at the same, looks or the way you view it. It should be different. Pink, it should have different colors. Pink, maybe red, maybe orange, maybe white, maybe brown. That is one of the things you should be able to know if this your meal is nutrient dense in terms of its color. You should be able to have not less than 5 different colors. Just like we usually say, variety is the spice of life. Yes, this is also applicable when it comes to planning your meal. When it comes to determining if this food is nutrient dense, you should be able to know the number of colors. Now, another magic I want you to learn whether this your food is nutrient dense. Your food, you can determine if your food is nutrient dense by consistency. What do I mean by consistency? The looks, the composition of that meal. If that meal is the feeling you get when you eat it, it should be able to have different feelings, different consistency. It should be able to be in semi-solid, solid, and and it can also have other varieties of feelings outside these ones that I've mentioned. So this second one is actually added with you determining whether your food is nutrient dense or not. Now, I would also want you to understand the best way you can also determine if your food is calorie dense. Now, your calorie dense food are very low in different colors. Yes, they are usually, they usually contain maybe 2 or 3 colors or even 1, as the case may be. It might just have only white color. It might just have only brown color. That is one of the characteristics of calorie dense food. Calorie dense food, they don't have much varieties of food ingredients contained in them. So that is why you'll be able to know whether your meal is calorie dense or whether it is what nutrient dense. So this is one of the simple way you can actually identify if this meal is, if this meal is rich in diverse nutrients or not. Now, I want us to learn the importance of this calorie dense food and this nutrient dense food, and for us to know which one is better. Now, if you're going to go for any meal, it is advisable you go for nutrient dense meal. Of course, if you go for calorie dense meal, you're just likely to get only few nutrients, which is your macronutrients, which are required actually in a larger amount. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have other nutrients. And that is why we advise you go for nutrient-dense food rather than calorie-dense food. Calorie-dense food is likely to expose one to a lot of chronic related diseases whereby the person gains a lot of weight. The person gains more weight than his or her age. Even in terms of infants, yes, in terms of infants, you are likely to have babies that are, that are bigger than their age. When you feed your infants with calorie-dense food, they are likely to be exposed to what we call child obesity. Yes, and child obesity has a lot of implications in the future. It has long-term implications. But you see that of nutrient-dense food, it has long-term benefits because it will provide your baby with well-equipped immune system to fight opportunistic infections. It will also equip your baby with good strength and quality blood flow. Yes, that is one of the importance of nutrient-dense meal. Now, if you decide to always go for calorie-dense meal, you are just going to be getting obese. Yes, you are likely to be exposed to obesity. And you know that obesity is a forerunner of most chronic related diseases such as your diabetes, your hypertension, and cancer, and so many other chronic related diseases that I didn't mention. So that is the reason why if you are to choose any meal, you should go for nutrient-dense meal. That will help you a lot. That will equip you a lot to fight against so many opportunistic infections. And when you are obese, it can create a lot of problem for you, like I've mentioned. And in controlling weight, in the management of weight, it's usually very challenging to manage your weight. Yes, because this saying that they say prevention is better than cure is real. When you want to manage your weight, you will find out that it's more challenging because your body is already used to that, that rate of the way you feed your fat cells. Your body is already used to it. So whenever you want to starve yourself in order to manage your weight, it's even a bad idea to starve yourself, by the way. So you might not even be able to have a concrete way of managing your weight. You can actually manage your weight through meeting your physician. Apart from your personal physical fitness and your diets and all that, there are other ways you can manage your weight. But what I'm trying to make you understand is this: managing weight is not always all that easy. So that is why I would advise you rather stick to nutrient-dense meal than calorie-dense meal. Then the last but not the least is through your food label. You can find out if your food is calorie-dense or nutrient-dense through your food labels. Do you read your food labels whenever you purchase any food product at all? How often do you check what is written there? How often do you check the ingredients that food product is made up of? How often do you read your food label? These are the questions you should ask yourself. Whenever you buy any packaged food, you should be able to go through the food labels and know whether this food is nutrient dense or if it's calorie dense. Because it's actually from the food label, that's where you'll be able to determine if this food has a lot of calorie contained in it. And you should also be able to know the nutrients, the specific nutrients contained in that food. It is usually measured in gram. Some are usually measured by 100 gram per 100 gram. So you'll be able to know if this food is rich in calcium. Is this food rich in vitamin D? Is this food rich in essential fats? Is this food rich in other diverse nutrients, vitamins, your other vitamins, and numerous minerals? That's where you'll be able to know if this food is rich. So this is actually the last, but not the least. So whenever you buy any food products, it is very, very important you read those food labels to know if these foods are nutrient dense or calorie dense. And also, while introducing your babies to food, it is very, very important, usually from 6 months. Yes, complementary food feeding. When you are actually weaning your baby, it is important you start with nutrient dense foods. You are actually going to be seeing the results. You are going to be seeing the results. Even if you don't see the results at that moment, in the long term, you are going to see the results. So it's very, very important you make use of diverse other food ingredients that will provide your baby with good health and make your baby reach optimal nutritional goal. Because if you start up with calorie dense food, your baby is likely to gain a much higher weight than his or her age. And like I used to say, one way to measure if your baby is underweight or overweight is to be able to calculate the birth weight plus the age of that child. Your child is supposed to double his or her birth weight at 6 months, and your child is likely to triple his or her birth weight at 1 year. That is if that child is well fed. But if that child is given calorie dense food, that child is likely to gain much weight. That child is capable of gaining a higher level of weight that you can't even imagine. So that is why we campaign, we ask you, we beg you, we plead you to help reduce the number of people that have nutritional related diseases by starting from your family. Try to go for nutrient dense meal. It will help you. It will help you. It will help you avoid a lot of chronic related diseases. So right now, in conclusion, you are now able to know that nutrient dense food is actually better than calorie dense food. And calorie dense food can be advised, when the child is losing weight. Yes, when a child is malnourished, that is when a child is underweight, we usually recommend calorie dense food. But that doesn't mean that that child shouldn't be given enough nutrient dense meal. Everything should be in adequate amounts. Everything should be balanced. So these are one of the things you should look out for when you want to pursue or meet up with a good nutritional status. Not just only for you, but also for your friends and relatives, your family entirely. Thank you very much. And please, you can share the videos, you can like, you can comment, you can also ask questions that you need to be answered. Any confusion you have about any nutritional related diseases, be it diabetes, be it cancer, or whatever, please do not forget to ask. I'll be right here to meet with your nutritional worries and problems. Thank you. Bye.